everyone, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing another airport update of Providence TF Green Airport. I apologize, this update is coming out a week late, but I wasn't feeling well last week, so my voice was really messed up, so I couldn't really record. But the update should be coming out on schedule this week. But we got some pretty cool changes in today's update, some interesting aircraft that we haven't really seen here before, and some upgrades to mainline service from some airlines that didn't have before. So, without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get straight into it with our first aircraft right here. We have a Delta Connection CRJ-900, and he is just taxiing out for departure out to Detroit. This route has remained pretty consistent on the CRJ-900s, but once again, I'm happy with that because I can easily represent this route. Next right there, we have a Frontier Airbus A321, and an interesting note on this aircraft is finally realistic for these updates. Obviously, I've been throwing this in for the last few months because I don't really have any other Frontier aircraft, so it's kind of hard to represent. I'm working into that. I'm trying to get my hands on the new Aero Classics Frontier A320neo, so hopefully that will change in the future. But the Orlando route is now operated on the A321s, so this is actually realistic. But in any case, he is just getting bags loaded on board for a flight out to Orlando. Next to him there, we have an American Boeing 737 MAX 8. No, these are not flying here, but the 800s are flying here, the 737-800s, and I do not own an 800, so I just threw this MAX 8 in place of one, because they're basically the same aircraft, just the MAX 8 is the up-to-date new version of the 800, so I just went ahead and threw in the MAX 8, but these have been operating, I believe, 2 of the daily flights to Charlotte, so that's quite cool to see. So yeah, he's getting some catering loaded on board before heading out to Charlotte. Next right there, we have an American Eagle CRJ-900. Obviously, this is pretty much the only American Eagle RJ I have at the moment. So he's kind of just got to hold down the fort for everyone. But that is going to change in the near future. I do have a model coming that is going to really help this guy out and make some of these updates a lot more realistic. But in any case, he is just getting bags loaded on board for a flight out to Philadelphia. Next to him right there, we have a United Express CRJ-550, and he is just getting fuel loaded on board for a flight out to Newark. Pretty much nothing new with United. I feel like they've just since I started doing updates at this airport, they've pretty much just stayed exactly the same. They've been the only airline that just hasn't really changed much. I think the only thing is for a short time, Newark was operated on the E145s, but that was only for a month, and then it quickly switched back to the CRJ-550s. So United have maintained pretty consistent service. Here's an interesting aircraft. We do have a Delta 757-200, and you may be wondering, what is this doing here? No, these do not fly here regularly, but the morning Atlanta flight has actually, the early morning one, has actually been upgraded to the A321. And so obviously that's normally operated on the 321. I did see it subbed in for a 757 once. So this is realistic and it isn't. Normally this is on the A321. I'm going to try to get my hands on an A321 so I can realistically represent that, because there are 321s pretty widely available. But for now, I'm just going to throw it on the 757-200 because obviously they're pretty much the same sized aircraft. They're used on the same type of routes. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So he's going to be heading out to Atlanta. Next right there, we have a JetBlue Airbus A320 in the barcode tail. Kind of an interesting note on JetBlue. They have actually begun operating the Orlando flight on the A321neo. On those A321neos, you usually don't see them at smaller to mid-sized airports like this. Those are mostly flying to their high-demand destinations like Los Angeles, San Diego, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, just out of those airports and around. So it's quite cool to see that there's a smaller airport like this. But in any case, I do not have an A321neo, so I can't represent that, but I did want to mention that. But in any case, this A320 is just kind of holding here. He is going to be heading out to West Palm Beach later today. Next to him right there, we have a Southwest Boeing 737-700 in the Heart livery, and he's just getting catering loaded on board for a flight out to Baltimore. And then finally for today's update right there, we have a Southwest Boeing 737-700 in the Canyon Blue livery. quite cool to see some of these still flying around. Obviously none with the no winglets like this model, but this is the only Canyon Blue 737-700 I have, so it will have to represent it for now. But in any case, he has just arrived in from Washington Reagan. So yeah, everyone, that does conclude our update for today. If you did enjoy the Pursuit, leave a like, subscribe, and if you have time, leave a comment down below telling me your thoughts. Once again, I hope you guys do have an absolutely incredible rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye.